Welcome back. It is 9:30 on the nose on a very stormy Monday. I'm Lucy Bustamante.
And I'm Olivia Vidal. Let's check back in with our meteorologist. We have Hannah Gard here with more on today's first alert.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, we're still watching those storms as they're dropping across the South Shore now. We also have some light rain that's building in behind the main line of storms, but the North Shore, southern Mississippi, we're clearing out. What we're watching is down to the south across the southern coastal areas, especially where we're starting to see these strong storms moving through. The line extends all the way into southern Mississippi, but these areas near Gulfport is starting to move offshore. Slidell, we're clearing out as it moves off over the water. So we'll take a closer look in toward the South Shore if we can. We'll take a look at this severe thunderstorm warning that we still have. That's the orange box here. It extends up through the West Bank all the way down through the mouth of the river in Lower Plaquemines Parish. And that's along this line of severe thunderstorms where we are seeing very gusty winds. So this thunderstorm warning, 60 to 70 mile per hour winds possible. We've also been watching for little areas of rotation that we've been seeing through the morning. We had a couple of tornado warnings, and it's on the leading edge of these stronger lines of storms. So the place I've been watching for is right here, down to the south of the Lafitte, up to the northeast of Golden Meadow. We've had this consistent area of rotation. It's kind of getting hard to see because think about where the radar is. It's way up in Hammond, and the farther away from the radar we get, the higher up the beam is because it shoots it out in a straight line. And with the curve of the earth, it's going to be shooting into the clouds more down here. But we've been watching this little area here. We've had a consistent little rotation area. Haven't seen it tighten up yet. That's the good news. If we do see anything now, it's heading over these marshy areas, and it will be something to watch down near Port Sulphur, Buras. So we'll keep an eye on this area closely. But what we do have for sure in this line of storms are damaging gusty winds, 60 to 70 mile per hour winds. We also have a 1-inch hail tag on the severe thunderstorm warning and a tornado possible tag because of those little notches. It's moving pretty quickly. This is over the past 30 minutes that we're playing out this radar loop. You can see it moved up from north of Lafitte through the whole area. So it's going through in about 30 minutes in each of these cities. Lafitte, you're about to start clearing out. The New Orleans metro, we're also clearing out, but it has left behind a swath of high rain totals. You can see these areas in green along the river parishes, Jefferson Parish, and the New Orleans metro. That's a flash flood warning. We're not really seeing impressive rain totals here, but it came through fast enough where you get over an inch of rain. That certainly could lead to ponding water on the roadways and some isolated flash flooding. So that's what this flood warning is for. It goes from Laplace, where we saw about 1.5 inches of rain, up through Gentilly, parts of New Orleans East, down across parts of the West Bank. But now the rainfall rates are letting up there. It's not quite as bad. We're still seeing the heaviest rainfall along the leading edge of those storms, and where you start to see those purples, Nicandra is querying this 6 to 7 inch per hour rain rates. Typically it doesn't actually last an hour over that area, but that's how much rain we could see if it sat over that same place for an hour raining at that intensity. But that's along the leading edge, so we'll keep watching for where that heaviest rainfall is. The good news, again, it's moving pretty quickly, so we are seeing mainly a swath of 1 to 2 inches left behind that. Could see some totals up to 3, but it is back building here. Notice we're seeing a little bit of moderate rainfall on the back end now, so we won't see it fully clearing out and the sun coming out until later on in the day. Down to the south, Dulac, we're starting to see some heavy rain. Where we have these purples, that's either a really high rain rate. We could have some small hail as well with some of these severe thunderstorms, but mainly worried about those gusty winds starting to drop down into the coastal areas. So Cocodrie, if we take a look farther down to the south, we'll see where this is heading next. Cocodrie, you're about to get into some of these storms. It's going to move through over the next couple of minutes. Grand Isle, you're going to see this storm starting to drop to the south, and this one does have really gusty winds with it, so make sure you're battening down the hatches before that gets through. This will be over the next 20 to 30 minutes or so. And then we're heading to Port Sulphur, Buras, all the way down to the mouth of the river. That will be next for you. And again, this is the area I'm watching that's had a little bit of broad rotation, but it actually doesn't look quite as bad as it did earlier. Here's our hail tracker. It does look like we had a little bit of small hail even in places near Homa. So if you have any pictures of that, send that in to us. And then over the lakes up here to the north of Lafourche Parish, Not really seeing anything now, though, so that's the good news. It does look like we're seeing a little bit of a weakening trend on some of these storms, but again, we're getting really far away from the radar, so it does make it more difficult to perceive exactly how strong the surface winds are there as we're shooting higher into these storms. But the trend is good. It's moving pretty quickly. We do have some back building over here to the southwest of Morgan City, so we'll see if these storms try to linger. Notice how it's moving a little bit more easterly here on the tail end. That could lead to some heavy rain over Homa and those areas south of there in Terrebonne Parish. That might lead to some localized street flooding. But overall, I think the trend is good. This is going to continue to move out. Here is the severe thunderstorm watch that we're under. It's been canceled off for the northern areas, so that's good. Southern Mississippi as well, Pearl River, Hancock counties have been dropped from the watch. It's now just for the South Shore, and we're going to continue to track this until this line of storms has completely moved out. So now we'll get over to meteorologist Nikanja Norwood. She's going to time that out for us and have a look at what the rest of the day will shape up to be.
And, you know, we are going to be seeing big improvements, much like you've already seen